We work with the MasterCard Foundation. We have a program that we run for them in 7 countries across Africa, where they have different partners on the ground, and we manage that end-to-end program. It's called the MasterCard Foundation EdTech Mondays program. If you've heard about it, or you haven't heard about it, you can check online and see what it's about. It's about engaging the EdTech ecosystem and getting them to start seeing what are the issues that are in the EdTech space and trying to resolve those issues through stakeholder engagements. So I don't want to get into details of those, but I'm just showing you examples of what we do. In terms of our footprint and presence, we have presence in Kenya and we have presence in Nigeria. Our office in Nigeria serves our West Africa market, and we focus on the English-speaking West Africa market. In Kenya, we use our office to do the East Africa region. So we do business in Ethiopia, we do business in Rwanda, we do in Tanzania, and we do that in Uganda. So we've managed to be able to scale. So the reason I'm telling you this is because don't think small, think big. Yeah? We started off, Greener started off in my bedroom. With me, as employee number 1, okay? And we have managed to move on to the next slide. Those are the brands we work with. Those are our clients. Now, one common thread is that these are big companies, right? In this market, if you're seeing anything for Amazon Web Services in terms of marketing, events, brand, that's us. They are our number 1 champion. When we ask for, could you please reference to new customers about what we are doing, they are literally very happy because we started with them when they had their number 1 employee in East and West Africa. And we helped them to grow and scale in those markets. And part of the reasons why we've been able to scale is also because of our clients. Because we've done a good job here. Remember our first speaker say, when you service the clients, then your business grows. So that's what has happened. So our growth is not that I woke up one morning and said, oh, we need an office in Nigeria. It's because we got the existing clients say, look, you're already doing a very good job for us in Kenya. Can you do this in Nigeria? And that's how we even see Ghana, for example. Like Kaspersky actually made us scale to Ghana because we're like, no, we want you to do exactly what you've done in Tanzania. We want you to do it in Ghana. And we had to scale. That's how you scale. So somebody was asking about scaling business. That is how you scale, right? It's through existing clients that help you to grow and get new business in new markets, okay? So this was the topic I was given, driving business growth through strategic marketing and communications. Okay. I don't have anything in front of me, just tell me when my time is up, okay? I see. So then I asked myself, I'm speaking to founders, right? My clients are very big companies. But I'm speaking to founders, so I need to break this down to what is realistic, right? So let's move on to the next slide. You have an idea, and a lot of us have ideas in this role. The one thing I tell you is don't overthink it. Go to market. Establish product market fit. You cannot do marketing until you have product market fit. What is product market fit? Product market fit is that you actually have people who are paying you for that product. They have signed up for that product. You cannot market something that has not been sold in a market or does not have customers. Okay? So how do you go about that? So the first thing, and I'm building onto interestingly, we did connect with the past speaker, but a lot of the things he said are here. The first thing is you have to ask yourself, are you solving a problem? You do not get into business to make money. You get into business to solve a problem. And it's so important that you do that because if no one sees value, if no one is complaining, no one is going to pay. It's as simple as that. The second thing is you have to talk to real people, and I mean humans, to establish that that product is needed. Right? So don't imagine in your head that you build something amazing and that people will actually want to buy it. You'll be shocked. You will build and spend so much money, get into the market and discover no one wants it. You will get even investors. You might even be lucky to get investors who are really believing in you as an individual. But at the end of the day, the product doesn't make it into the market, okay? So real humans, not imagination. What does that look like? Develop a simple version of your idea. Don't build something with bells and whistles. Start small. Do something. So for example, from Gradle Africa, as I say, I started with me. I was the one doing everything. Like literally you get that brief and you're the one calling, hotels, booking, being the one who sets up, being the one who follows up with customers' attendance, working with creatives for design. I could choose to have started big. I could have chosen to say, let me get a creative designer, let me get even an assistant at that particular point. Assistants also play a very big role, by the way, as an entrepreneur. Or there's a stage you reach to meet somebody. You can't work by yourself. But when you're starting, you need to know your business. So you need to know end to end. You don't just employ, you need to know what is happening in every space so that you know at what point do I lead people? Is this really working? How are my customers feeling about this? What is really that? Why is it that they are buying from me? So those things you will not understand if you try to go big. And you will spend so much money and not be successful. The other thing is that ask for signups or payments. Compliments don't count. When people tell you, oh, that is amazing, you've done such a good thing. Yeah? That's like you're not in business yet. Okay, until someone is giving you money, until someone is paying for your service, you're not in business. You're just a dreamer at this point, okay? Then get your first users through manual hustle. Our first speaker said it. There's no algorithm that will get you your first speaker. Your first customers. You have to pick up the phone. You have to go meet people. You have to either use, if it is a WhatsApp group community, you have to, you have to do the work. There is no social media platform that you will put your thing there and people will come running to you. There's nothing like that. You, as the founder, have to find your first customers. They have to use your product. They have to give you feedback. And that's how you establish that you actually have a good product. So don't imagine that you will build something and then there'll be some magic that will happen because a marketing person will come and tell you, when you do this, you will get new customers. That doesn't happen. The first ones, your early customers are handpicked. You literally have to go through that manual process. Then you keep improving the product based on how your customers are using it. You keep iterating. You keep creating. Our first speaker said pivot. You'll probably find that what you had originally thought about, Gradle started as an outsourced marketing department. And then I go into a client meeting and they tell me, oh, we have our marketing department. Does that pitch work? No. So then you go back and say, we can work with your marketing department and support them. So it means you're pivoting. You keep building your solutions as you listen to what your customers want. Next. So now you've established your product market fit. Let's assume there are those now who already have products. They've already established who their customers are. Once you have established what your product market fit is, what is next? The next thing is to establish who is your ideal customer profile. That is the person you market to. Just because everyone is buying to you buying from you doesn't mean that they are good. They are all the ideal customer profiles. And what I mean by that is that your ideal customer is the one who buys quickly, right? When you pitch, they don't give you long stories of, we need to negotiate. They will negotiate, but not much. They come back again and again, right? They've seen value in your products. They don't drain your time. Their customers, for all of you in business, you know their customers by then, you can talk to them for 6 months before they sign up. And then there are customers who you just pitch in a week or 2 weeks and they're like, please, let's proceed. So you've established who your ideal customer is. So those are the people who work per day, right? And again, one caveat I want to put out, every business is different in terms of how you approach your marketing. Enterprise businesses or businesses that deal with B2B don't market the same way as B2C. And B2C here means business to consumers. For consumer business, you need numbers to make sense. A B2B business can work with 1-2 clients and still make a lot of money. When you're in the B2C space, you need hundreds of signups. how do you get to that? And how do you determine, how do you spend your marketing so that you're only getting the right people and that you're getting your ROI back? So it is important to establish what kind of business you're in, and then look at who it is that is your ideal customer. Find out, you need to talk to them. So this is how I'm taking you through the steps of until you get to marketing, right? Because we said you don't start with marketing. You have to get to a certain level to get into marketing. So you need to talk to your ideal customer profile. So this customer is the one that you have decided, these 3 customers really are happy with me. You need to ask them, why do you buy from me? It's an interesting conversation. It's not a formal conversation. So it's not sending emails. It's not doing a research, like heavy investments. It's just simply having conversations. Why do you buy from me? What is it that you find value working with us? What is it that makes you come back to us? We are all operating in an environment where there's competition. Establish why they choose you versus your competition. Your ideal customer will help you build what you call your unique selling points. Because your unique selling point is not your imagination. It's not what you aspire to. Your unique selling point is what your customers find as value from you. So once you have that, so basically an example is to say customers choose us because we are either affordable, we offer very good quality service, or we have a unique solution that does not exist in the market. That is what you now start building your USP. So unique selling point, right? And you cannot, again, get into marketing until you have that. What is it that differentiates you from the rest of the people? The other thing is look for patterns. When you're talking to your customers, establish what it is that is becoming a common thread. What does that help you with? Number one, it helps you to know where they are. Because when you've already established, like, these are my ideal customer profiles, you start begin to see a pattern. So you start knowing where they hang out. And when I say hang out, I mean that in quotes. It could be, if it's a digital platform, digital platforms are all different. LinkedIn, somebody on LinkedIn versus somebody, the same person on Facebook, but it's the same person on Instagram, have a different way in which they consume content. So when we say your ideal customer profile, it could be the same person, but they are more ideal for you when they're on LinkedIn, for example, right? Or they're more ideal when they're on Instagram. Hangout, again, could be in the estate groups, right? Like you find that when you post things on your, in WhatsApp groups for estates, for church, people respond faster. That is where your ideal customer profiles are, right? So start looking at those patterns. It also helps you to understand what is it that they're liking about your product. And those are the things that you double down on. You spend your money where you will get the best value. So you focus on what it is your customers really like about your product, not what you want them to like or what you're trying to sell to them. It is what they really like. Because those are the same ones who will recommend you, right? They're the same ones who will give you feedback that will help you get to others like them. Because remember, marketing, you're trying to get more of those ones. You're not trying to just get people to buy. You're trying to get more of your ideal customers to come to you. That's what you're doing with marketing. So I don't know if, we have a better understanding of marketing up to this point?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on. So, what is marketing? It's understanding your audience. Do you see why you can't start marketing until you have a product that people are buying, right? So it's understanding your audience. It's delivering meaningful value. It is engaging the right customers. And it's driving long-term business growth. You don't market for now. You actually market to build pipeline for your business. If you market for now, your marketing is not effective. If people when you do a campaign, people just come, and then after that, there's no more engagement with your business, something is wrong. It needs to be continuous. You need to be seeing a funnel of new customers, engagement, or something is changing in the business. Okay? Moving on. So this is I created what I'm calling the founder's marketing checklist. Because you're not marketers. Some of you may be marketers, but some of you are not. And you might be the one who's actually going to be doing the marketing, or you probably have somebody in your team that is doing it. So here's a checklist. Sometimes when you grow to a certain level, you probably get consultants like me who will come into your business and tell you we can help you with marketing. So you need to know what it is that needs to be in place before you engage, okay? Or even before your team starts marketing, what questions are you gonna ask? First, have you established who your ideal customer profile is? Because if you haven't, you have no business starting marketing. Speak the language of the ideal customer. Stop talking product features. No one cares about how many things your product can do. It is what can it solve in my life? Value. And you speak it in the language your customers understand. Test channels fast. Small experiments, big campaigns. You don't have the budgets to start doing things big. Start small. So when I said WhatsApp groups, that's where you can start. Emails is where you can start. It's conversations, like say, for example, looking at your network, which is how I started, is I looked at my network. I had worked in corporate for quite a bit of time. I had worked in the technology space. I've worked for Microsoft, both in East Africa, managing East and Southern Africa. I've been based in Turkey, in Istanbul. I understand the Middle East market. I understand the South Africa market. I've worked in Intel. I had a lot of connections in the technology space. So this is not by accident that I found myself in the tech space. So starting off, I did not spend money trying to market the business. I literally picked up the phone and I called my network and told them, I am starting a company. And I posted in some of the groups that I was in that this is the company I am starting, or I have started. Interestingly, Graydale actually started because of my former boss. She gave me business. It's a story, it's another story, a very long story that I need to tell you on a different time. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is start small experiments. Use what you have. Don't imagine that you need millions and dollars to be able to do marketing. Start with the platforms you have. Have a simple online presence. We live in a digital space. Do not assume people will find you if you're not online. And a simple online presence could be a website. It could be having, like, say, a LinkedIn page, a Facebook page, a Google Maps, Google presence, right? Like presence, business, online presence, Google Business, online presence. Have something that people can find you. Because the first thing, even you think about it, when somebody says, I work for, what do? The first thing? You go online. So you have to have some sort of online presence. And again, you don't have to have spent 100,000 or something like that. My first website, I built it. I'm not a designer. I am not a developer. I literally used the tools online. I created the content on PowerPoint, and then I went online, found sites that can help you build a website, transferred my content onto that, and voila, overnight I had a website. Because I was pitching to a client on a Wednesday, and on Monday I got the brief. So by Wednesday I had to have online presence. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to start simple, right? By the time I was presenting, they actually thought I'm a big company. I'm serious. They actually thought I was serious because procurement sent me even an email and said, could you please send us your registration, your KRA PIN, all those documents they ask you? Do you know Brilliant had not been registered at that point? I registered this after that pitch. Like, I literally called the lawyer. I was like, we need this registered because next week I need to send the company details. I started selling when I had a business name. And I don't know about the rest of the business people here, but I will advise you, don't register things because KRA is gonna find you. Start first establishing your product. That was what my product market fit looked like. It's first getting a name, telling people what I do, and then establishing, am I actually credible enough to be given business? And once I establish that, they actually want to register me as a supplier, then let's register this company. Okay. Educate and build trust. So when you go online, don't just post about yourself and your products and your whatever. Educate people. People love to hear something to learn things from others. So put content that is valuable online, not just about yourself and about what your product does. Reach out directly, as I mentioned that. I'll not go back on that. Collect feedback fast. Please you have to have a growth mindset. Growth mindset means that somebody will tell you this is, what you're doing is not. It's not capable. Actually, what you did not deliver what I was looking for. Take feedback, both positive, negative. Encourage referrals. Ask your clients to refer you as much. That is a form of marketing in itself. Track and adjust your marketing efforts. So focus on what brings results, and I'll show you how you do that. And then scale gradually. Expand only after you have proof of concepts. Okay? Next. Measuring marketing. So marketing only works if it's moving your business forward. You know, sometimes for some of us who've been in the industry for a while, you've seen consultants who come and say, so we did for you a campaign and you had 1,000 likes and, we put it on Facebook and you did this and this. And then you're asking yourself, okay, so how did this change my business? Don't measure vanity metrics alone. They are also important. Don't get me wrong. Likes and clicks are important because they show you whether people are engaging with your content. Because you can post and no one says anything, but those clicks and likes help you to see if you're making sense or you're making connections with your audience. But that's not the end in terms of measuring success. It's about revenue, customers, growth. At the end of the day, if you're not getting that, then your marketing efforts they're just they're efforts. Okay, moving on. Next, this is my last slide. So focus on what drives results. How do you do that? You start by defining your business objective. It's not marketing objective. It is your business objective. When you engage Gradle Africa, the first question we ask you is, what is your business objective? It is not what your marketing objective is. It is what is your business. What are you hoping to achieve? Are you looking to grow your revenue? Are you looking to get new customers? Are you looking to engage the existing customers so that they increase their, you can upsell? We want to understand that because that's where it starts. Once you've understood your business objective, the next thing is link marketing to those objectives. So let me give you a practical example. You want to increase your revenue. Let's work backwards. To increase revenue, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say, I want to increase revenue? Let's work backwards. How does that look like? To increase revenue, what do you need? Sales. You need sales, isn't it? You need more sales. And to sell more, what do you need? You need what? You need customers. And to get those customers, what do you need to do? You need to just speak up. There's no right or wrong answer.
Provide them by.
So yes. So the first thing you need is for you to sell. You need people first to be aware that there's a product that exists, right? So that you have like a lot of people coming to you. So you need a pool of new customers coming in. That's what we call the leads. To get those leads, by the time you close, depending on your business, there are some businesses you need to reach like 100 customers to even close to. So it means that even in your marketing activities, you must think, when you've done your sales, and that's why I said you have to have tested your product, that by the time you close, how long does it take you to close? How many people have you had to talk to? That gives you an average of what your marketing should be able to do to get you to where you're going. So if you're looking to say close 2 customers, and generally you've had to have the conversations with like 20, 30 customers, then it means your marketing should be able to do like almost 5x of that number. Because what happens is there's drop-off. There's people who come to your websites, right? Just view and leave. Then there's people who will come and engage. And then there's people who will come, engage, and call you. And then there are people who will not call you, but you can see for sure this one is my customer. So you need to call them. So your marketing needs to link back to what your objective is. So once you've run that campaign or whatever it is that you're going to do to be able to get those numbers, then you look back and say, What was my objective? It was to grow revenue. Given this period of time that I have run this, what has changed? Number one, maybe I have now 10 new customers that I did not have before that I'm talking to. That's already a KPI. Are we seeing how we measure marketing? So it's not just about a campaign that has run. Is it tying back to my business goals? If you're looking to build your brand, there are different marketing metrics that you use for that. Set targets. You have to have targets. Again, we've had, I encounter people who tell you, so plan for me this campaign, but you ask them, what is your target? Like, what targets are we working with? And you don't know. You as a business owner must know, must have objectives. Otherwise, somebody will create their own targets for you and say, we reached 100,000 people. Is it a good number? Is it a bad number? Right? You're the only person who can establish that. Track the metrics, analyze and iterate. So just because you get a marketing person or you start doing marketing and things are working, you don't stop. You actually look at what is it that is working and what can I do better? How can I make what is working work more, or can I stop what is not working? Connect marketing to revenue. If it's not growing your business, it's not the right tactic. It's as simple as that. So don't get too carried away with vanity metrics. At the end of the day, it's about long-term value for your business. I'll stop there. Any questions, or do we take questions now?